Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here for more Rides of the Ordning. Couple quick announcements. First of all, I apologize. I am still very sick, and so if I cough in your ears or I just sound generally crappy, that's just the reality of the situation. We're just sucking it up. Also, unfortunately, Nyx is very, very sick. Shorty is in bed dying with the flu. And we are a little pressed for some time, so we are going to go on without him, unfortunately. And I promised him that I would do exactly what he didn't want me to do, which was promise not to kill Nyx while he is gone, because he would rather. If you know Shorty, you know that he likes rolling new characters. So, it was funny. Kenny was in the kitchen. He goes, "Are you gonna TPK us?" And I was like, I promised that I wouldn't kill Nyx. That was my response to that.
So one of us will survive.
And of course, it's gonna be the one who would be the most okay with their character dying.
Get ready for guilt.
Yep, survivor's guilt. Actually, Nyx on survivor's guilt would be very funny.
We're all gonna roll clerics and come back with clerics, so it's gonna be Nyx. It's gonna be Nyx and the clerics.
Nyx is gonna be like,
"There's a great band name."
Nyx is gonna be like, "They're my fucking clerics, thank you, God." Oh my goodness.
We can call our group can be called Nyx and the Clerics. And we'll play really, really bad music on the lute.
In all fairness, we could all just for at least one session come back as NPCs, so that way it's like whatever god will have misheard Nyx saying clerics and thought Nyx said clerks.
Amazing.
Okay.
Great movie.
Alrighty. Anyway, we're going to jump into a couple of things, but before we get started, just a few announcements. I did just post an amazing podcast session on YouTube. The podcast is called Charting Adventures. It's on my Muse's Mythos YouTube, and Kyber and I went over how to build characters, and speaking of, how to build characters and how to work on that in D&D Beyond for building D&D 5e characters. So if you're new and you're wanting to learn a little bit, make sure you go check that out if somebody could drop the Muses Mythos YouTube link. And also a little bit of spoilers for tonight, but you're going to stay here and watch this first before you go watch that. So, with that being said, we are going to get rolling on... We're going to get rolling on stuff. So, are we ready? After a couple-week hiatus, last we left off, our group of heroes was working their way through the Temple of the Allfather, looking to speak to the Oracle of the Giants. After poking around the ruins to a mystical portal and setting off a firestorm, attempting to kill Kamori and Nyx, totally accidentally, they figured that they were missing a key to the puzzle, the Frost Giant's axe. Exploring the temple, you discovered a trap, some treasure, noped your way out of spider tunnels, found your way into the dining hall where Ramorhaze had taken up residence, defeating it and effectively evading its eggs falling from the ceiling. You tracked down the missing axe and returned it to the center room. There, you puzzled together the meanings of each of the runes and touched the proper giant weapon to each. The portal to the Oracle opened, and you entered, leaving Harshnag to guard the entrance. There, you delivered the giant artifacts and asked the Oracle your questions. I don't remember all the questions you asked off the top of my head, but you learned that there was something wrong in the storm giant court. You learned how to get there, and that you needed to collect the conches from each giant lord, and that they needed to be blown simultaneously. You learned where all the giant lords were located, as well as asked a couple other personal questions. Upon returning to the temple, Upon returning to the temple, you began to hear a commotion as Harshnag seemed to be talking with a new figure, a tall, blue-skinned storm giant. She demanded that he open the portal, and upon his refusal, she transformed into an ancient blue dragon and activated the statue of the Allfather, bringing it to life. In that moment, Harshnag made a choice. He chose to desecrate the temple to the one he serves and told you to run as your fate lies elsewhere, and gave you a chance to escape as the temple was collapsing around you. And escape you did. You chose to go out the spider caverns that you once avoided. Along the way, you managed to spot a barbarian woman struggling, and some great magic freed her, and you avoided all the spiders that threatened to stop you. You tore outside the caverns, coming to an abrupt halt to avoid a drop-off, but the mountain was collapsing, and suddenly a wall of red fabric rose up out of nowhere as an airship came to your rescue. A woman in robes stood on the deck, reaching her hand out for you to jump on, telling to Zyra that the great dragon cloth sent them. The timing was perfect, and you took off as the temple burst open, rocks flying everywhere, there's pillars falling, and an ancient blue dragon began to chase the escaping airship. The human woman, she has very brown hair, like braided back, wearing red robes, and she kind of looks around at you guys and the whole crew, the barbarian woman who is with you, and just goes, "Holy shit!" And then she turns to the rest of the ship, where you see a couple of people, primarily a red tiefling as well as a halfling, and she just yells at them and she goes, "Prepare to run, man your stations," and she turns back to you. "We are going to have to try to get the ship to go as fast as possible, and I'm going to need your help. I don't know if it's possible to outrun a dragon, but we're gonna try." Nori, she, I suppose you could have quickly exchanged names. I think you did as you were running. But Nori is the barbarian woman, and as you are looking at her, she, like, looks determined and grim and looks very confused, but looks like she is also willing to help. So, are you guys ready for a dragon chase? Mm-hmm. Okay, we are entering into a skill challenge. And I'm going to direct your attention to the quote-unquote map. So, our cute little Morrigan tokens are the people on the ship. My boy! Yes. And I will allow you to also still have Nyx, even though Nyx's player is not here. And that's okay. But we are going to get into
Nick,
things.
how do you feel about all this?
Right? Nyx, how do you feel about all this?
Great. Awesome.
Nyx is probably just like, shut the fuck up.
We gotta go. So,
we gotta go.
This is a skill challenge. Your goal is at the end of the round to have the highest score and beat the dragon. So for every roll, the dragon will also roll. The first person to 3 rounds who has the highest score for 3 rounds wins the challenge. So the way that a round works is there's no initiative. You guys can all move and do things simultaneously. If there's something that you would like to do that is not like, I am using my action to assist here, like cast a spell or heal someone or anything like that, you will be using your action to do so. Your movement, you can move between any of the locations. There's 6 locations that you can see. You can move between any of the locations. It does not matter. So it does not matter where you go. Then there you can choose to help the NPC that is there. And then we're going to have a roll off. So if you are not there, if there's one person filling a slot, the area is rolling at disadvantage. If there's 2 people filling the slots, the area is rolling at regular. And if there's 3 people filling the slots, the area is rolling at advantage. Every area is rolling a contested check to the dragon. So Constitution versus the dragon's Constitution, right? And is rolling at a +2 if the NPC is there, unless unless you are there and you choose to use your stat. So for example, if nobody's in Constitution in the furnace, then it is just going to roll a Constitution check at disadvantage with a +2. However, if Komori's there, for example, who has very high Constitution, it will be rolling regular with whatever Komori's Constitution score is. If you can argue a skill to get a proficiency, I will allow it. Okay? Does that make sense for the generic thing? And then essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go down and roll contested checks. I will openly roll. We'll roll contested checks down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will see what happens at the end of the round. However, dragons have legendary actions. So even though she is using her action to dash, the dragon still can affect things, which will happen throughout. Does that make sense?
I think so. So
Yeah.
DM, my question is that if, like, let's say Komori's in the furnace in the furnace slot, would she be rolling with her adding her Constitution bonus, or would it be the +2?
Her Constitution bonus, correct.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes. So
And then if we can argue a specific skill, then
correct. However, it needs to be kind of in the realm of the theme of the area. So if you're in the ballistics, which is the dexterity one, and you're trying to argue like a perception check, I'm gonna be like, maybe not. But if you're up on the crow's nest and are arguing a perception check, I would be like, heck yeah.
Okay. I wonder who's going to be the crow's nest.
Okay.
I'm trying to make me bigger. It's not working.
So with that being said, I would love if you guys, so you scatter. And as you scatter, I'll kind of like describe what you see when you go to where you go. So, Tazira, you are on your broom. You fly up to the crow's nest and you see a very like chill looking air elemental who's up there looking around, and is attempting to look at things. And he kind of introduces himself and nods at you slightly.
I have a question, DM,
Yes.
just for logistic purposes.
Okay.
So I can cast spells through Mippet as long as it's a touch spell and she's within 100 feet. It does take my action and it takes her reaction.
Okay.
How would you rule that?
So what I would rule is if you want her in a different location, you can pop in and out of her vision. If you choose to assist in that regard, I will allow you to cast the spell. So I'm thinking like guidance, or if you see somebody go down, cure wounds, etc. And it's going to be as if you are not there in the location you are. However, the benefit of that is that you have more spread outness. Does that make sense?
Beautiful.
I was also going to ask about Morrigan.
You can do the same with Morrigan. So, where would you like Nyx, and Komori, where would you like to be?
I think Komori would go down to the furnace.
Okay. Go ahead and drop your token there. And where would you like Nori? She has a pretty decent strength score. Do you want her in the storeroom?
Let's put her there, yeah.
Okay. And then where would you like Nyx?
Let's put her in the dexterity. That works.
Yeah, she's a pretty decent dexterity.
She got 14.
Okay, so what the fuck? Why is her token a box?
Is it just like being mine was weird when it initially rolled, like came in.
Yeah, maybe it's
You
loading.
might just need a second.
Okay, well, this white box is next for now. Okay. I'm gonna put a little dot since I used the Morrigan tokens. I'm gonna put a little green dot on your actual Morrigan.
No, red.
Red
I
is fine
did
too.
it.
Red is fine too. Okay.
Also, I apologize if you guys can hear my upset child at my door.
No, you are good. Whatever needs to happen. Okay, so I already described as you fly up to the crow's nest, you see what looks to be an air elemental, and it looks like to some extent there is some sort of binding on him that keeps him in the crow's nest. You guys don't know what's happening in the storeroom. So, Ravasi, you follow the woman, and as you do, she kind of puts her hand out super briefly and just says, "Hi, you can help me direct people and maybe give some instructions. My name's Delphine."
Bossy. Terrible timing to meet, but pleasure nonetheless.
Okay. Through Mippet's eyes, you see as Mippet flies into the propeller hatch, you see that underneath the person who's steering and is like moving stuff on the ship as the ship is beginning to take off and pick up speed seems to be an awakened suit of armor that is half melded into the floor. So it's just like the top half of a torso that's like about 5 feet tall.
Oh, fun.
Through Morgan's eyes, as Morgan follows Nyx and is kind of like assisting Nyx, you see a kind of rough and tumble looking red tiefling who is looks a little bit like a pirate, not gonna lie. Has a whole bunch of chains dangling from her horns. Is wearing like leathers and has a crossbow strapped to her side, and she's just like hefting harpoons. And she kind of leans over to Nyx and goes, "Hey, help me turn this thing, okay? And we're gonna fire right here into the side so we can get a really good pivot." And so she's like telling her how to fire into the side of the mountain so that they can like pivot the ship. Okay.
Hot.
Okay. And then, as you, Komori, go into the furnace, you kind of wrench the door open and there's like a whole burst of flames. And you see a very fiery looking fire elemental who speaks to you and says, "Are you here to free me? You should get me out. You can get me out and then we can escape, okay?"
Look, this is really bad time. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fine. Okay, hold on. Throw some coal on me, and then we can get the ship to go up more, I guess.
Do you eat at all?
Coal?
Just coal? No meat?
I mean, sure.
I don't know if that's a motivator.
Meat sounds fine. It tastes good. It just turns to ash, though.
You could just be... Anyway. All right, coal.
Okay. And with that being said, you watch as, you especially Ravasi, as well as Desira, watch as the dragon bursts out of the collapsing temple. You see, it is like the middle of the night. You guys had been you arrived at sunset and had been going through the temple through the night. And so stars above you, you see a little bit of an aurora borealis off to the side, but clouds are beginning to gather and there's lightning crackling in her maw. As you guys take off, the mountain is collapsing around you. With that being said, we are going to go 1 through 6. So, Komori, as you are assisting, you can go ahead and roll a constitution check.
Okay, so
It's just
in this
a
case, we're
normal
rolling
roll.
normally using my constitution modifier.
Correct.
Got it. Oh, yeah, I forgot I can actually just hit the thing.
Okay, so a 13. Alrighty. Is it more fun if I roll with the dragon all the way through so you know what's happening player-wise? Or is
Yes.
it... Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hold on. Let me...
Also,
Let it ride.
this is fair because if someone has does someone have any more importance?
No.
It is the middle of the night.
We have not slept yet. We are running on pure spite and adrenaline at the moment.
I rolled poorly. I'm not going to use a legendary resistance. Hold on. I need to change this to Never Whisper. Should I re-roll or should I,
No, if you rolled poorly, keep it. Keep it.
Okay. Yeah. Why is it, like, hiding? Where's the unhide monsters? Always whisper on rolls. Use general whisper settings. Okay, there we go. We'll test it. I'll roll another one, but we'll keep my 11. Okay. Okay, so the dragon has an 11. Alrighty. Okay, as we're going back through, Morgan can give the help action. So, you can roll with Nyx's dexterity at advantage.
Yay.
Okay.
That's why I sent her. That's why I sent him.
With ease, you watch as they do Madeline's plan. They fire a harpoon kind of into the side of the mountain, and they pivot around. You're flying like kind of down the stairs that you had ascended with Harshnag. Okay, up in the crow's nest. What would you like to do to Zyra? Oh, wait, I need a roll for the dragon. I almost forgot. Dexterity. This is by far the dragon's worst stats, but I still got a 19.
How close is the dragon's not close enough for me to Misty's.
The dragon's like 120 feet behind you, but that's still really close for a dragon.
I was gonna say we don't want it close enough for me to silvery barbs, guys. I don't think.
No, you do not.
Not at all.
And also, if you choose to silvery barbs, that will take your action, and you will not be able to assist.
Yeah, because it's a skill challenge, not
Correct.
AI.
So you can, however, there is a drawback. Okay, so to Zyra, it is your turn.
Beautiful. I am going to just question. If I tell Mippet to help out, does that take my action or no? Without casting guidance?
Without casting guidance, if she's just providing the help action, she can do that herself.
Beautiful. Alrighty. I'll keep Mippet on that, and then I am going to, I guess, be helping Copernicus keep an eye out, or have him help me.
Okay.
Can I argue perception for proficiency?
I will allow perception.
Beautiful. Like, allow perception as in the skill, or as in profession?
As in the skill.
Ooh, okay.
You can roll a perception check. Holy shit! Okay.
16.
Okay, we will
You
not
don't need those portents.
we are counting amount for amount. So a natural 20 doesn't like do anything super
natural
exciting,
20 still is the highest number you
but
could
it's
roll on
still
the
the
die.
highest number you could roll on the die. Okay. And I will say that the dragon will not roll with any skills. Okay. 15. Okay, it is now the propeller's turn as you, Mippet is kind of like helping, flapping around a little bit, like pulls some of the dust out of Pilot's eyes. They are now best friends. You don't know how that happened, but it did. So go ahead, somebody rolled me just a straight d20 and we'll add 2.
Why did I roll? What is that?
Okay, and then we're rolling contestants' intelligence check. That is a 19.
Wait, why is it intelligence?
Because that's the intelligence area. It's piloting a ship.
Oh yeah, the propeller. Okay. Might ignore me.
Okay.
I was being I was going the wrong way. I was in the storeroom in my brain.
Okay. I know I couldn't figure out the best order to put these on the sheet, because I was like, do I put them in order of number, or do I put them in order of, like, location? And I put them in order of location, and I kind of regretted it, but I also made this when I was 6, so don't make fun of my little sheet. The fact that you got a cheat sheet's amazing. Okay?
Thank you, DM.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate my players. They weren't even making fun of me. I got defensive for no reason. Okay. Now we're on the top deck, so... Oh, shoot! I just realized that I totally forgot to be doing legendary actions throughout all this.
No, DM, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, they're just
You're
getting
so awesome and nice.
So,
You're just warming up.
as you guys...
Haha, don't stop. You're so sexy.
So, as you guys are getting, watching the dragon get a little bit closer, I'm just putting in reminders for myself, you watch as she's coming closer and closer, and the fact that she's so large is terrifying. Her maw could very easily bite half the ship. She is huge. And as she comes closer, she targets 6. You hear just like noises happening down below in the storeroom as something seems to be happening down there. If somebody could do me a favor and roll me a d20 for Nori, because I think it's funny. You can
Give me 1 sec.
add a 0. I don't think she's going to pass. Okay.
7s. Guys, we should stop rolling. I think Zari should start rolling for them now.
So, with that, her frightful presence has been used and seems to have affected the storeroom. And you kind of like hear Delphine like go, oh my god, they're not working as fast down there. Holy shit, that's gonna be a problem. So, and as you kind of like are recognizing that, is there anything very specific you would like to do, Relasi, or would you just like to roll?
Okay. I wanna... Flavor-wise, I'm definitely gonna yell down something to the storeroom. Like, I'm assuming there's, like, pipes or something that you can, like, talk to people through.
Yeah.
Okay, so flavor-wise, I'm talking down to the storeroom, to the people down there. I'm hoping to use one of my many charisma stats. But I think it would be funny to potentially see if I could do intimidation to see if I can out-intimidate the dragon.
Sure, if you would like to. If you want to use this to roll intimidation, I will say that. I'm going to just say, for the sake of things, Laz, the NPC down there, is out of commission this next round, but what you are trying to do is you are essentially trying to see if you can give Nori, I will say, like, essentially make Nori not have disadvantage, because she's now moving by herself.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I know that's technically kind of doing two things, because I'm rolling for mine, but my hope was that, because I know with Frightful Presence, you, like, re-roll the save. I'm hoping that this will kind of help spur them in some way.
I'm just letting you know that Nori will not be able to make the save no matter what she does.
Oh, shit.
She has a +0.
Not even with a nat 20, DM?
Nope.
She's fucked.
It's only for this round.
Okay. But no, I'm gonna yell down to the pipes and I'm gonna say, whatever that thing did to scare you, just know that falling out of the fucking sky is a lot scarier.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. It's just a straight charisma check, but I'll allow your intimidation.
Okay. 16.
Oh my gosh, I'm rolling so bad. Okay. So that's an charisma for the dragon. And now we get to the storeroom. So we are rolling at disadvantage. So somebody roll at disadvantage for Nori, but you are adding I think it's a 3. Yes, she is strength +3. I hear Cece. Okay.
5.
So that's a 5. So let's see what happens here, and then we will total these suckers up and see who wins round 1.
It's okay. Everybody knows dragons are terrible at strength.
I'm rolling so bad. Do you see this? This dragon has like really good stats, and I'm rolling horribly.
I need you to understand, fuck you, politely. I love you very much.
I know you do.
I'm saying fuck you to the dragon. Thank you, Zari.
No, I know. If I didn't have my players saying fuck you to me at least one point in this campaign, I would be pissed. Okay. The dragon got
Put that on the bingo card.
84. And you guys got 95. So the airship has won 1 round. And at the end of the round, another legendary action happens.
No. I just need to get 2.
Oh no.
That's not fair.
Change layer.
At least I have soup.
At least I have soup.
So
Okay. So, and at the end of the round, we are going to do another legendary action. Let's see where it is going to be. Okay. We are going to be in 5, the top deck. So as the dragon begins to grow closer, its wings begin to buffet the full area, and Delphine gets hit by a wave of wind and smacks her head on the railing and goes unconscious. I need you, Ravasi, to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
16.
Okay, you fail. You take 16 bludgeoning damage, and you cannot move to a new station. So you are kind of
that's fine.
Stuck here for this next round. However, I will say to wake up an unconscious NPC, you can use your action to wake them up. However, there will be no roll for that station if you choose to use your action to wake them up. Okay, we are now starting. If anyone would like to shuffle stations, you may shuffle stations. Nori cannot move, and we have 2 unconscious NPCs.
May I send Morrigan to the storeroom?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and move him there. Does anybody else want to move?
I'm gonna move Mippet to the top deck.
Okay.
No,
Nope.
keep Mippet. No, you.
Sorry.
I yell. I'll be fine.
All right.
So, Ravasi, you will be rolling with disadvantage, is essentially what you're hearing.
Yeah, that's fine. I have better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Movements have happened. As you guys are watching now, you have kind of like moved past the stairwell, and the mountain is crumbling around you. You see, you are beginning to fly through the valley that you came up. It is so high up here. The air is really tight. Your throat's tight as you're trying to catch your breath, and you watch as the mountain is beginning to collapse, and it seems that there's an avalanche now chasing the blue dragon as well. So you are outrunning a blue dragon as well as an avalanche. So the dragon is facing a lot of these like treacherous things that you are, which is why it's kind of a challenge for both of you. With that being said, we're gonna run down 1 through 6 again. So, anything special, Komori, or would you like to just roll?
Oh, right now, I just think the best thing I can probably do is roll.
Okay. You are continuing to, like, shovel coal into the fire elemental, and Calcifer is very happy with it. He's sassing you the whole time. So that is a 14 for our team, and that is a 16 for Team Dragon. Okay. 2, harpoon gun. You guys are watching as they are loading another harpoon, and this time they're kind of like harpooning a little bit ahead to give you guys a little bit of a springboard pull. Go ahead and roll Nyx's dexterity flat.
Oh,
And I rolled
Someone
a
else
14.
do that? No, that was you.
That was my dragon roll. I rolled a 14.
Why am I rolling? It's fine.
You
It's fine.
offered.
Everything's fine.
You did offer. Okay, 3. We are going to the crow's nest up above. To Zyra, you're trying to help Copernicus figure out the best way to go. With a 28.
Survival?
Huh?
That was perception. I accepted perception. You want to Zyra to use perception.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you want my perception. I got expertise in that shit.
Yep. Okay. Okay. And then as this happens, a legendary action is going to happen now. So I'm going to roll 2. Okay, so that is the harpoon area. So you watch as the dragon gets close enough and kind of turns, dodging one of the avalanching rocks, and manages to slam her tail into the harpoon area. So the NPC in that area, which is Madeline, is knocked unconscious. So she is now unconscious. And as I said, you can use an action to shake them awake, so you don't have to, like, heal them or anything. And then I need Nyx to make a dexterity saving throw. Okay.
8. I'm rolling just increasingly worse.
Take 24 bludgeoning damage, so go ahead and mark that down. And she cannot move to a new station on this next round. So she's stuck at the station.
Nyx is quite bloodied.
Okay. Alrighty, we move on to the next thing as that legendary action resolves. The propeller hatch, go ahead and roll me a straight d20 plus 2.
Gotcha.
Okay, we have a 4 and an 11. I'm rolling so bad. That's so good for you guys. Okay, top deck. You are kind of holding a bloody Delphine. You watch as Madeline goes down and is unconscious. Ravasi, what do you do?
Okay, so DM, I have a question. Does it look like this is me like asking above the table? Are they going to be unconscious for the whole time?
Correct, until somebody uses an action to wake them up.
Okay. Sorry, I'm contemplating something. I'm doing statistical math in my head right now.
You're good.
One thing at a time. Okay. I want to try to argue a performance check, DM.
Okay.
In which he pulls out his fiddle and he starts playing this, like, horrifically fast and yet, like, super, like, thrumming jaunt. His goal is try to spur people on in the sense of, like, okay, I know this is, like, really scary, but, like, focus on this music, work to this music.
Okay, I'll allow that. It's going to be a disadvantaged roll, though, still.
Yes, I know, but it's
yeah.
We'll do our best.
You can take performance.
Cool. I want to be rolling performance. I was a 23 for my worst one.
Okay.
Okay. I was deciding whether or not to do that or risk something else.
Okay.
You're welcome, Nick. I did shanties for you.
And then in the storeroom, Morgan is helping. Nori can't move. She definitely looks scared. But she can't move to a different location, but she's doing her best. She's running harpoons kind of like up and down. She's moving some equipment around. She's battening down hatches, etc. So go ahead and roll me a straight D20 plus 3.
How was a 19, DM?
Ooh.
I will take a 19, so that's a 22.
Brand was so scared.
Okay. Versus a 26.
Was
And
that enough?
this NPC is back in commission. He has gotten over his frightfulness. So, let's find out.
Thank goodness.
So, our airship team got a 101 total.
Even with the 4?
Yep, even with the 4. And our dragon got a 96 total. Wow, guys.
I'm so happy I rolled. I'm so happy I rolled. I almost did something else.
And at the end of the round, another legendary action happens. And this time, you begin to see the lightning start to crackle. And she opens her maw and she begins to breathe lightning.
Oh god.
This is going to happen towards the furnace area. So, the station, as lightning hits the furnace, it completely blows up. The whole area is destroyed and inoperable, and you actually watch as Calcifer cackles and he seems to be free, and he is gleefully leaping up and beginning to burn the whole area. I need you, Komori, to make me a dexterity saving throw. I will give you a
okay.
+2 to this. As
Plus
you
the
have
advantage because my normal stuff.
Well, yeah, don't you have advantage? Or is that only
Yeah,
when
that's
you're
what I mean.
raging?
It just says on Dex effects against that I can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Okay, I'll make you a deal. Here's the deal.
Okay.
The reason I was giving you a +2 is half cover from like being inside the thing. If you were inside the thing, you couldn't see. If you were outside shoveling coal, you could see. So do you want advantage or do you want a +2?
I already have a +4 to my Dex save, so I'm gonna take the advantage, Cap.
Okay. Roll with advantage. Okay.
I hold on. I literally held the thing. It didn't do it.
Roll one more time then.
Oh no.
Doesn't matter.
Oh
Okay.
no. Oh no.
Okay, you
Komori.
take 88 lightning damage.
What?
DM.
Yes.
What's the rule on instant death?
It has to go over your stats. So, Komori, how much HP did you have?
We didn't get to heal or anything. I'm at 23 currently.
Yeah, you're fine then, because your max HP right now is 74.
Yes.
So you made it, barely.
Oh.
And that whole station is out. So the way this is going to work is the dragon is now rolling for Constitution, and the ship is not. Komori, you can move on your turn. So.
Mori's down.
No,
Oh.
I'm down.
Oh, that's right.
Because I only had 23 HP right this second. You just did 88 to me.
You are unconscious. There you go.
What's that? I can't hear you. I'm unconscious.
Okay. So, with that, I will say for this round, the dragon may now use skills if she would like, as she has grown close enough to you. Okay. Is there any movement that you wish to happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Top of the round. What happens in the furnace as Mythos moves there?
I would like to use my action, and I am going to 3rd level Cure Wounds Komori.
Okay, go ahead and do so. Komori, you come back with another 24 HP.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Komori, you, however, cannot move. Because the movement...
I can't move.
Yeah, the movement has already happened, so... Okay. And then you watch as Calcifer giggles and is burning the whole area. You guys get a 0 for Constitution. Let's see what the dragon gets. I rolled an 11.
Only 11. That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's really good because she is a +8. Okay.
Okay.
We can make up a lot.
Can Morgan only help as a slot, or could Morgan attempt to wake up the Madeline?
So if Morgan uses his action to wake up Madeline, Nyx is going to be rolling at disadvantage, as if she is the only one there focusing on harpoons. If Morgan helps Nyx, it's
Morgan's
a straight
gonna
roll.
help Nyx.
Okay, go ahead and roll. So it's a straight roll.
Okay.
I'm rolling so bad!
That's good. That's good. That's good. Suck it. I love you. Oh, first, no!
Okay. On to the next one. In the crow's nest, you've already used your action to bring back Komori. So go ahead and, for the sake of Copernicus, go ahead and just roll me a straight D20 plus, plus 2. And it's at disadvantage because you are not assisting.
It's okay. We can take one loss of a round. Because we're gonna take it.
Yeah. I was saving this. I was saving this for a 17 plus 17.
Okay. So with a 23 perception check to your 4, we are now in another legendary action. Okay. So, you watch as she turns and flings her tail, and you see a very large blue scale dislodge from it, and it embeds itself and crashes through the side of the ship into the propeller room, and you begin to hear a ruckus down there.
Great. Awesome.
This is why we have familiars.
And then you actually, I'll even say this, you watch as you're, like, especially you, Tazira, you kind of watch helplessly as from the side of the ship, you see a gargoyle come flying out and takes off and goes back to the Blue Dragon.
Oh.
Okay. We are now in the propeller hatch, and nothing happens there.
Great. Awesome. Great.
Okay, top deck, it is your turn, Ravasi at disadvantage.
I'm not doing that. This is the washed. So DM, if the dragon was close enough to wing attack, that means the dragon's within 60 feet now, right?
Sure.
DM, what would you rule if I cast command grovel on the dragon?
You can certainly try.
It says the target falls prone and then ends its turn.
I would rule that the rest of this round, the dragon would not roll.
What about flee?
I would rule that during the movement there would be a little bit of space, and so you would lose one legendary action, essentially, before she could catch up again.
Okay, and what about halt? The target doesn't move and takes no actions. A flying creature does stay aloft.
Same thing. I will say it'll essentially lose her legendary action.
Okay.
If it works.
What about command defecate?
She will shit on the mountain.
Okay. What's the best
That's worth
one? She's gonna beat us no matter what. 'Cause hold on, I'm doing math. I'm sorry. I know I should make quick, snappy decisions. But, like... I don't think we're making up 41 points in the next 2 rounds. Politely to Zyra.
Nope, not at all.
Statistically. I want to cast Command Flee.
Okay. That would give you essentially, she would still be making rolls, but it would give you breathing room for one legendary action.
Okay, that's fine. I am also, importantly, it's being upcast to 2nd level, so I can target more than one creature, and so I am also targeting Flee on Calcifer, which means he's going to jump off the fucking ship.
I will say if you command Calcifer to flee, he'll flee back to his hidey hole. So he won't jump off the ship because you're going to need him to fly the ship. You just need to get him back under control.
Okay, then that's what I think it's gonna be.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna cast command.
Okay, Calcifer rolled a 15, so Calcifer is back in his hidey hole and is not burning the balloon.
My goodness. Okay.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, DM.
I'm openly rolling, that's a 23. She does not flee.
I'm gonna silvery barbs.
Okay. You silvery barbs. I'm openly rolling. That is a 13. However, I will use a legendary resistance. And she will not flee.
You suck balls.
I'm staying out of this one.
I'm gonna after he commands to flee and the dragon like shakes it off, he's gonna get visibly very, very angry for a second and yell at the dragon, "Oh, come on! Are you that much of a pussy? You can't take an L?"
And she will just growl at you and just say, "I flee from no one." Okay, with that, you have a 0 for the round, and I will roll my charisma score. That is a 9. I'm rolling so bad, but that's okay. Okay, 6. Somebody roll a straight roll +3 for Nori down there.
Gotcha. Good on you, Nora. You're doing your best.
I mean, considering the fact that she's been probably stuck in a I'm sorry, you guys. You're losing this one. I'm not even gonna add it up.
Yeah, why do you think I tried something else?
Do you want to see what you would have gotten?
We would have been going.
Yeah.
There was no way we were succeeding.
She had an 88 to like your 19.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like,
here.
we are not making up 40 in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible.
Okay. So, something happened in the propeller hatch. You've no clue. Delphine is unconscious. Madeline's unconscious. Calcifer, the whole furnace is essentially exploded. You cannot use it anymore. But Calcifer is not rampaging, which is good.
Okay.
And you are at a 2-1. Okay. Top of the round. We're skipping one. Oh, top of the round. Movement. Where would you like to go?
I am gonna stay where I'm at. I see Mippet is here. I'm gonna yell, Kamori, go to the storeroom. Nori, go help Nyx. And
I will let you know Nori has a +1. She has a +1 in dexterity. She's a +3.
No, that's fine. I want her flat roll in dexterity.
Got it. I understand. You're looking for flat rolls around.
Yeah, and I yelled for Kamori to go to the storeroom.
Okay.
On it.
Okay, Go ahead and move yourself to the storeroom. Well, you can take your little unconscious token off, Kenny.
I did not even
And
realize.
I'm actually I'd rather have would we rather have advantage for the NPC or advantage for Desira?
I can take care of the NPC on top deck.
Okay, then I'll leave Morrigan in the crow's nest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and use Mippet to get top deck up.
Okay. Alrighty. Top of the round. You guys get a 0 for Constitution. The dragon finally rolls well.
It's only a flat 10. Okay.
It's only a flat 10. Okay. Harpoon gun. Go ahead and roll a straight roll plus Nyx's dexterity modifier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh.
12. Not 20! Holy shit!
Damn!
I saw the
You did
12
that.
first!
Nice. Okay. Then we are in the crow's nest. Go ahead and roll a flat score +2 for Copernicus.
No! Shit! No! Shit!
Ah!
Shit!
Okay, so that's
Bad.
a
Why did I
6
roll?
6 to a 31. And now it is time for a legendary action. Oh, sorry, I didn't even describe this. Tazira, as you go into the propeller hatch, you see that the awakened suit of armor has been completely ripped to shreds. Absolutely decimated. There's no way that you will be able to fix it in a short period of time. You're not even sure if it can be if he can be fixed. And there's a hole through the propeller deck. It's not completely destroyed, but you could probably try to pilot the ship.
Yep, I'm gonna use a free action
Oh, wait,
to
but
cry and
Okay, you can use a free action to cry. But before we do that, I will say that a legendary action happens. So let's see where it happens. It happens in the storeroom. So sorry, Kamori. Kamori, you watch as the tail kind of comes bashing through the side of the ship and slams into this very strong, very serious halfling and completely knocks him unconscious. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw. You can roll with either a +5 or you wouldn't be able to see this coming. So you can roll with a +5 for cover.
I already get a +4. Oh my god, so that's gonna be a 12 with the +5 then.
Okay, you take 16 bludgeoning damage and you cannot move this next round. So when it comes to the movement, you are not allowed to move. You're kind of like stuck there.
Yup.
Okay, now it is your turn, Tazira.
alrighty, I'm going to use Mippet to get Delphine back up, and then I'm going to pilot the ship.
Okay, so Mippet essentially uses their help action rather than helping to wake up Delphine?
But Delphine's up, so I still roll straight, right?
Correct. Okay, go ahead and pilot the ship.
Yep.
It's
Can
just-
I argue some sort of proficiency from like knowing the stars and all that jazz? I'm hearing a no with that silence.
No, because you're also working with tech that you don't know at all.
Yep.
So I would just say a straight
What about
intelligence check.
What is this? This is magical, right? Could she argue Arcana?
I
would
take Arcana. Yeah, you can reroll. I'll take Arcana at disadvantage.
Beautiful. I will so roll Arcana advantage.
Okay.
3.
Okay. As the dragon is dodging things and trying her best to make up lost time. Okay. You have a straight roll on the top deck as Delphine comes back to consciousness.
Can I argue another performance?
Yeah, you can continue to perform.
Cool. 28.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's a good 18 difference.
Okay. And then, down in the storeroom, Komori, go ahead and roll me strength at disadvantage as you are limping along, struggling as you watch Laz go unconscious.
Athletics? I don't know if your athletics is any better.
I mean, if it's just a general strength.
If you want to roll athletics, you can roll athletics.
It's +6 comparatively. So, yes, please.
Oh,
Oh god, and that's a disadvantage? Ugh.
Yep, so an 8.
I am rolling ice cold tonight, kids. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I am limping along. I'm at 8 HP.
Oh, hold on. 6 plus 23 plus 28 plus 8 is 87 for you guys. Oh, this
Winning
one's gonna
this,
be
folks.
close.
no, this is a smashed out of the water DM.
Yeah, it kind of is. Okay.
Ugh.
So, it is 1-1. Let's see. As
Great.
you guys are kind of coming out of the valley now, it's avalanching below you, and you watch as the dragon, the crackling in her jaw is beginning to form a storm as clouds are coming along. And at this point, you are starting to dodge lightning strikes. There's thunder all around you. It is dark and very stormy. Alrighty, top of the round. Any movement?
Yep.
Oh, because I'm not allowed to move.
Oh, yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck and I'm gonna fucking die in this shithole.
Oh, wait, before you move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back at the propeller hatch. I rolled a 4. Let's see what happens. Okay, you watch as another scale comes flying and smacks back in through the hole of the propeller hatch, and you watch Tazira as this scale melds and the bright sapphire blue begins to kind of shape and turns into this sapphire blue looking gargoyle. And we are going to run a super quick combat between you and the gargoyle to see what happens.
Alrighty. Thank you.
So, go ahead and quickly roll me an initiative, just you. You're the only one there, so you're the only one who's going to be able to participate in this.
Yep, let me make sure that I am clicked on. Oop, not That's no bueno.
Okay. So, with that being said, the gargoyle is going to attack you. Swinging into you with its claws, rolling an 8, and you manage to just quickly dodge out of the way, pulling up a bit of pilot's armor in this cramped space. But then he pulls on your shoulder and bites down onto it with a 19 to hit for 5 piercing.
Okay, yep. Even a shield can't help me there, so yep.
Okay, it is your turn.
Alrighty, I am going to, let's see, cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it. Can I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
Okay.
DC.
Let me see if these... Yeah, it's good. So wisdom saving throw is a 13.
Beautiful. It is prone and incapacitated, and next round I'm going to try and roll that fucker out if I can.
Okay. He laughs for his turn. At the end of his turn, he gets to make another wisdom save, right?
Yep.
Natural 1.
Beautiful. I am just going to use a foot and roll him out of the hole.
Okay, you do. Combat handled. Love that. Love that creative solution.
The entire time, by the way, Tazira is sobbing as she does this.
Oh, honey. Traumatizing poor Tazira. Okay.
I think we're winning this. The numbers game isn't just gonna work in our favor, actually.
Okay, top of the round, you can all move if you would like to.
Beautiful.
Man, I forgot to turn Whisper back off. Hold on. Okay, Constitution check. I rolled low. Okay, harpoon gun, straight roll. I rolled a 6. Go ahead and roll a straight roll for Nyx.
Okay. That's a saving throw. 19.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and Crow's Nest. It is a, are you doing anything specific to Zyra, or is it just a straight roll? Or, sorry, Sly with, Morgan.
Can Morgan do anything special? Let me check. Probably not.
So. I think it just helped. So go ahead.
Morgan has a +3 to perception.
Yeah, Morgan can roll. So go ahead and roll a straight.
So it says, I have a question. It says the owl has well, it's a crow, but I'm using the owl stat block. Has advantage on perception checks that rely on sight or hearing.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You can argue
advantage.
advantage. Go for it.
Nice.
19?
Not nice enough.
Okay, 19 and then a 26.
It's only a +3.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. You watch as the tail swings down and smacks into the harpoon area. It knocks Nori unconscious, and I need Nyx to make a dexterity saving throw.
$18.
Okay, an 18 fails. She takes 24 bludgeoning damage and cannot move.
Oh, what is the DC?
You haven't gotten anywhere close to it yet.
Nyx is on 1 HP.
Oh my gosh! Me! I'm not gonna kill your character, Shorty! Almost kills Nyx.
DM, politely, you're running an ancient blue dragon after we didn't rest.
Yep. Okay. Propeller hatch, sobbing to Zyra. Go ahead and roll I'll allow an Arcana check with disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Beautiful. Just like through tears right now. It's full on extremely ugly sobbing. Yep. I got a 10.
Okay. Oh, I missed that. 10. Ooh, that's so close. Okay. Top deck, what would you like to do, Ravasi?
Another performance, I guess. Great though this time.
Go for it.
Wild for Ravasi.
You know.
Wild. How original.
Shut up! I'm keeping us alive.
Yeah, you are. I'm rolling so bad, guys.
Good.
Okay. Okay, down
Are
in
you
the
gonna
storeroom.
have Mippet awaken Laz so that it's still it still cancels out, but then he's alive?
So no matter what. Oh, yeah. If you wake Laz up, it'll be a straight roll no matter what. Essentially, it's just a question of whether or not Laz is conscious.
Exactly. Yep. I will wake up Laz with Mythos.
Okay.
Well, just in case for this last one, so.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a straight strength check, Kamori.
So it's just a regular strength check, or am I getting anything?
You can roll athletics if you want. Oh, whoops, I rolled charisma.
Okay, fingers crossed. Never mind.
Am I Arctic? Is that allowed?
No, unfortunately.
Arctics. Fuck.
No, like, you can't see me at the moment. It makes sense. It's just... oh.
I'm going to use a legendary action to re-roll this last strength check.
No, how about you don't?
Okay.
Why? Why?
Okay.
No, DM, you just fucked us. I need you to understand that.
I'd say take me out to dinner first, but I mean, you kind of already have, so...
Hey, you made dinner tonight.
This is true.
No, shit, we would have won. Fuck, no, we would have won. Is there anything I can do?
Can we still raid Barbs? Is she close enough?
She is not close enough to where you are, unfortunately. And so what happens is,
I guess we're dead then. Congrats.
Okay. So what happens is you huge talons sink into the wood around you, Ravasi, as she crunches the ship in her grasp. Her wings are flapping and keeping you afloat fully. The ship is bobbing with her. For an ancient dragon, the airship is but a plaything in her grasp, and her cruel blue eyes stare down at those on deck, lightning crackling in her mouth and all around the stormy sky that you're suspended in. You are lucky I don't crush you like I did the temple and the insolent giant in there. Now let me speak to the puny small folk who dare call themselves heroes. Do you go to the deck?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Kamori?
I mean, I'm limping, but I'm getting there.
The whole ship shakes as she flaps her wings. People are unconscious. Everything's broken and it's coming to the storm. The wind whips around you and the crew is subtly trying to put out the fires. That lightning around you is catching on the fires that Calcifer had kind of started. She pulls the ship, the area that you're at, the front deck, closer to her face. To Zyra, her large sapphire eyes that remind you of a dream of long ago, larger than you in diameter. And you see swirling with anger and haughtiness of age that you will never understand. Now, I'll release you heroes in this puny airship, and I will not eat you today if you obey my will. And you will obey. If you survive long enough to make your way to Iron Slag, ruled by the Fire Giant Lord, you will take this flask and throw it into the Adamantine Forge. It'll release an ice primordial, which will destroy the forge from the inside. Then she scoffs a little. Huh. But you better take your time getting there and get stronger, because if it was this easy for me to catch you, there's no hope for you at Iron Slag. And if you do not do this in a year's time, however, I will hunt you down and kill you. The ship begins to crack more, and Delphine is very desperately, like, trying to put out a fire on the cloth of the main balloon. And she brings it closer to, and, you actually watch as a gargoyle crawls up her side and drops a flask onto the ship. And she says, "Do you have an accord, or should I eat you now?"
Yep, yeah, we have an accord. Yep, and I will scramble and just hold it in my hands.
Anyone else saying anything?
Ravasi looks so angry.
He's not the only one.
It's like this is like I don't know how to explain it. This is like the most furious you've ever seen him. And it looks like he's like just barely keeping his mouth shut to not say anything.
Good. Tazira, it is freezing in your hands as you hold this. And you actually, like, have to pull your hands off for a little bit because, like, your hand's starting to freeze to it. And she pulls her eyes back and she says, "Well then, you better catch yourself quick." And I'm back. Off to my plans. And she releases the airship, and it kind of begins to spiral down as Delphine very quickly, like, kind of shouts and gets a few things under control. And she rushes in, and you hear a crackle noise, and then you watch as Calcifer lights back up, and the whole balloon begins to flow as it begins to float gently to the ground. And in the distance, the storm kind of fading, you watch a dragon flying away. Blue scales in the distance.
Oh. Oh.
The airship rights itself and lands on the ground.
I'm gonna do a quick sweep and heal anybody back up to consciousness if need be.
Okay. Easily enough, Madeline and Nori, you don't need to heal them, but they are brought back to consciousness. Delphine seems to have, like, wrestled Calcifer back into his spot and kind of re-engaged whatever deal that had happened. And so he is kind of working again, but that whole area is completely destroyed. And she rushes down to the propeller hatch and sees Pilot completely destroyed. And as the ship kind of hits the ground a little bit, it's like floating like 40 feet off the ground. Well, that was terrifying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Koth did not tell us that a ancient blue dragon was chasing you, but it's okay.
In fairness, we didn't exactly expect it.
Yeah. What happened in there? We were just told to meet you at the temple.
That dragon was not part of the plan. Period.
Oh god, harsh. Oh god, yeah. We were going to the Oracle and we were asking questions and all that went really well. And then we came back and then Harshanak was fighting a dragon and then the dragon was trying to go after us. And then Harshanak sacrificed himself so we could try and escape. And then we went through spider caves and then we ran into you.
Okay. Cool. Well, how about this? And she will kind of bring you guys downstairs. Here, we've cleared out a couple of these rooms for you, and so there's 2 rooms that are yours below deck. You've been through a lot, I can tell. Here, Nori, you can set up kind of here in a hammock in the storeroom. And she, like, gets her all set up, and Nori, like, kind of tucks into the corner and is just trying to manage her stress and does not look like she wants to be talked to at the moment. Okay. Take a minute. Chill. It is, like, 3 fucking a.m. I'm so glad we were watching for some movement. Rest. And we are going to move on from here. We'll need to fly south about a day, pick up some equipment, and do some repairs before we carry on, okay?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So be it.
So you guys are all kind of like in a private space, just the 4 of you at the moment.
Zari is still, like, just crying idly.
Give me the flask to Zyra.
Or me, it doesn't matter at this point.
Are you gonna throw it away, Ravasi? Or are you just gonna keep it?
I'll take care of it.
Okay, that's not an answer. And I will put it into the party bag of holding.
I said
I don't
I
know
will
about
take
you.
care of it. I will hold on to it. I'm not throwing it away.
Okay. And I'll toss it over to him then.
Okay. Mark a flask holding an ancient ice primordial in your equipment.
His hand sizzles when he takes the flask.
I will note that down.
I can't open my cough drop. I'm struggling so bad over here.
It's what you deserve!
We're so lucky we're not dead.
Does it really matter at this point?
What do you mean does it really matter at this point?
We literally just got our asses handed to us in more ways than one.
We didn't really have any other choice. And now we're stuck with another stupid fucking...
Sure. Errand, whatever you want to call it.
I think typically you have a bit of say in a chore or an errand.
I don't know about you, but I at least know one thing. One way or another, we're going to kill her. And I will find a way to eat her myself.
I need to write Tobias and let him know that there's an ancient dragon around that we had no idea about, and I don't know, maybe he'll be able to give us some sort of information or help us plan or help keep some kind of lookout.
Yeah, to
Amount of
Zyra, there's
animosity.
absolutely no information on an ancient blue dragon in Ilumelan at all.
Well, just based upon assumptions, she's probably from the giant's old land.
Mm-hmm. Or
Clearly, she's got a vendetta. And she's called the one who betrays.
Hmm. So, you know, real trustworthy, like.
yeah.
We're on the ground now, right? Or are we flying?
You're like stuck, so there needs to be some sort of emergency repairs. You're floating. You're like 60 feet off the ground, 100 feet off the ground, kind of anchored.
Okay.
And then so Delphine said that she was going to work through the night, get some repairs done, and then they would take off and fly towards what you assume to be completely honestly where you're kind of located. The best place to base restock is probably going to be, where is it? Fire Shear. So, but an airship moves pretty fast, so you will likely get there in the next, 2 days.
Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go up on deck. And he's gonna walk out.
So it is just you and Komori in the room. We'll say Nyx at 1 HP went to go nap.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Shawty's so mad I didn't kill him.
1 HP!
That's, worse than, 20 HP didn't kill him.
I think the only thing that you kind of see as Urvasi is leaving Komori is that Sarah A takes the unidentified pack of cards out and starts to idly identify, but B, you just see her flip several very far back into one of her many journals to some blank pages, and you just see her scrawl out how to keep us from dying and starts writing down all of y'all's names and starts going through lists.
Doing some of your divination stuff?
I need to do something to plan because Harshnag just died and we just destroyed an intense place of cultural sanctity and an oracle, and now there's going to be nobody like that oracle to let us know if we're doing something right or wrong. And how the fuck am I supposed to keep you guys from dying if a frost giant gets breathed down by an ancient dragon out of nowhere?
Komori is going to kneel down to you and just put both of her hands on your shoulders and just go, hey, look, I know the whole thing for you is being able to tell the future and all that stuff. But you can't always just predict everything that's going to happen. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut.
I don't know if I have a gut to trust, Komori. I'm not made for this. I'm supposed to be a paper pusher. I'm not supposed to be an adventurer.
Well, guess what? You're not a paper pusher. You're one of us. If you weren't meant to be, then you wouldn't be on this whole thing, would you?
You watch as she closes her eyes and you see her very visibly pulling herself the fuck together, and she'll just kind of give a mute nod.
Mipit's winding around your shoulders and is essentially nudging the side of your face with her head and patting Komori's hand, listen to her.
Look, I'm not an expert at emotions. If there's nothing wrong with letting everything out. Hell, I do, and I still kind of keep it together a little bit. Well, relatively, depending on who you ask. There's healthy outlets for that kind of thing. Don't take me as a good example for that, but...
I don't think I'd take anybody right now from our party as a healthy example on emotional regulation.
See, you're already doing great. But yeah, point being... Yeah, you can see a lot of the future, but it doesn't mean you can see everything.
It's the problem.
And you kind of I get it, but again, you can only do so much. Some things are out of our control, whether we know it or not. Because, yeah, I'm not good at this kind of thing. This is like something Ravasi would be better at, maybe.
No, it's all good. You're like, I mean, to be fair, I think I'm out of tears now, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I mean, in some way, shape, or form, for sure. But look, nothing wrong with crying. I've cried plenty of times. But, like I said, there's no shame in any of that. And just, you can't bear the burden of keeping us all alive by yourself. It's kind of self-preservation and all that, you know?
She'll kind of do like the straight half trying to smile. How the hell are you not terrified?
She's going to slow blink very, very momentarily, staring off and just go, I think the adrenaline a little bit. But also I'm more angry than upset.
You see her jot down the note. Get angry to not be terrified, ? And flip the page.
It's just, there's a lot to process with everything at the moment. But honestly, getting sleep is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think we all need to pass out.
Yeah, Komori was hit with a firestorm today.
I've almost died several times. It is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, today was bad. We need to get you something for fire resistance.
I think, let's be honest, I think I need a little more than just fire. It's probably every kind of thing, and even then, that's more unrealistic. Just throw me in front of, like, a wall or something, and I can kind of deal with that. But, like, I don't know. If anything, I'm more worried about Ravasi for a change.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't know if he's... I was gonna say, I just don't know if he's just pissed for the same reasons or not.
I don't know either, and that's something that's very concerning.
As you guys say that, we kind of fade out as you're getting ready for bed, to go to sleep. Because you guys typically share a room anyway, so. And to Zari, you continue to take your notes before passing out. Komori, kind of comforting, being a presence. And we kind of zoom out to Ravasi on deck, and the sky is cleared. It's still very cloudy and overcast. There's like a light drizzle and a mist over the sky, or over the, sky. And you're kind of like docked in this mountain pass. And we see Ravasi just kind of leaning over the deck. What are you doing?
He's doing his best not to angrily scream.
After a few minutes, Delphine kind of like walks over to you and just like matches your energy leaning against the deck. So I work for a ancient red dragon. Well, not ancient. He's kind of ancient. He's ancient adjacent. That's a long story. My point being, that still scared the shit out of me. So, I understand that you're probably frustrated. If you need to talk about it, I'm here, but...
An ancient red dragon, you said?
Technically, he's an adult red dragon, but he's an ancient being. Your friend can maybe explain it if you ask.
Sorry, I'm a little out of it right now.
You can brood in peace if you need to. I'm just saying that, I know we don't know each other, but if you need an ear...
You need an ear?
My, one task is to keep the elementals, in place, and one of them almost burned the whole ship today, so it was great. And my pilot is dead. I will need to figure out a way to fix him. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. Luckily, I'm so grateful it was him and not one of the actual crew.
What do you need?
I just need some magic equipment, some papers, incense, ink. I could probably ask to Zyra. I think that's her name. But yes. I know that we're docking in Fireshear in a couple of days, and I can get it there too. I can fly the ship. It's not a problem. It's just easier to have an automaton. That's what they're called when they function magically. It's a really cool thing, Koth says, from a different land. It hasn't quite made its way to Ilumelan yet, but animated suit of armor. It's better to have him pilot it.
Mm.
Was that your first time seeing a dragon that big up close?
No, I've seen other large dragons. I just haven't seen one that angry at us before.
Yeah.
Bingo cards, people. Bingo cards.
She was very angry and very ancient. That was like years of resentment, anger. Like, Cloth is a very angry dragon, but it was cold anger, sharp.
Well, she's a betrayer, apparently.
Is that what she called herself?
No. She just does not,
She just goes...
explain it.
Well, now that we can officially introduce ourselves, I'm Delphine. It is nice to meet you.
Ravasi.
Don't get too lost in that head there. You're very good at being a leader, kid.
I wasn't born for it.
It doesn't matter whether or not you were born for it. I wasn't born to be what some would call a cultist to a dragon, but look at where we are now. I have my own airship, I'm a captain, I get to talk with an ancient being that's from times long past. Like, how cool is that? I didn't choose that for myself.
He raises an eyebrow. A cultist?
That's what we get called pretty often. You know, when you worship a dragon that's not one of the gods in the pantheon. You're a cultist.
Huh. Interesting.
And I don't like calling myself that, because a lot of cultists get bad rep. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone was coming to kill my dragon, I would kill them. Like, if you tried to kill Koth, I would kill you in a heartbeat, even if we were friends. But...
You're really not beating the cultist allegations.
You know, valid. Valid. I'll take it.
Is there, something your dragon likes in particular?
Information. Which is very weird for a
Information.
red dragon, but he likes information. He also likes weapons that are ancient.
Ancient weapons. Huh. He looks down. He looks up. I don't know if we have anything that would be of use to give away.
Oh,
It's something
you
we could expend.
don't need to worry about payment. Koth owes his life to Zyra's mentor. So when Zyra set out on her mission, her mentor sent a little message and asked Koth what he could do to assist.
Ah. Zyra again, then.
She's a good kid. Haven't met her before. Seems like a good kid.
Yeah. Just tries to put everything on their shoulders.
I could see that. From my, super brief before I went unconscious. Sorry, by the way. Getting smacked by a dragon tail is rough.
I almost perished from it as well, so.
Okay. Well, don't brood out here all night. Get some rest, okay? But you guys
No promises.
Even if you do, it's gonna be a couple days of smooth sailing. We're gonna fly out of the way of the barbarians. Nobody else has fucking airships, and the dragon went that way. So, I feel like we're good.
Well, if there's anything any of us can do to help, don't hesitate to ask. We're not...
You are honored guests. However, I will accept assistance, but my priority is making sure that you are rested and safe and get to wherever you need to go next.
Yeah. Yeah,
We can talk tomorrow. We for sure need to go to Fireshear, and then we'll figure out where we're going from there.
Alright.
And then she, kind of salutes and walks away.
He, for a couple moments too long, contemplates throwing the flask. Not strong enough yet to be this spiteful. Alright. And he shoves it back in his bag and he heads downstairs.
Okay. You slip into your room where Nyx is conked the fuck out, snoring, beaten and bruised. And all of you fade into a sleep as the sun is beginning to, rise over the mountains. And I think that is where we are going to take a break. We'll be back in about 5-ish minutes. Yes?
Do we level up?
You just leveled up! You were all level 8!
Yay!
You leveled up!
I mean, it finally goes through fully.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it does finally go through fully, and you guys level up. So I told them off screen that they could officially level up to level 8. And
Double 11s.
and
Quadruple.
and it now takes effect, and you guys fade into sleep, and we will be back in a couple of short minutes. We are back. And as we jump back into things, we're going to, as everyone begins to fall asleep, we're going to zoom into something very quickly. Iris.
Oh.
You dream. You fall into sleep and you begin to dream. And at least that's what you've always called it. The glimpses into your reality. The pasts, the futures. Never your childish hopes or the crazy whimsies of your peers, but of things that your teachers can find in history books or visions of things that eventually come to pass. Through study, you've learned to interpret it, and understanding the differences between your visions. You see stars, as you often do. Your body is often made of stardust, reflecting the unmistakable constellation of the dreamer, as it often does. The dreamer, the constellation that is lost to time, that you only learned through pouring through your mentor's books. You look up, seeing a kaleidoscope of blues, purples, pinks, punctuated by pricks of light. They swirl as they often do in this dreamscape, opening to reveal the silhouettes of the same 4 people, yourself and your companions. The colors shift, a whirlwind around you, pulling you in. You close your eyes and see a throne, one you've seen before. A throne made of bones and coral. The skulls of 2 dragons forming their arms, their tails curling around the base. The unmistakable crown of coral and lightning hovering above. Empty. You mourn and you do not know why. You see a crash of lightning and see the same sapphire eye, the one you faced just hours ago, covered in scales. You feel rage, ever burning, ever consuming. Betrayal, revenge. You see the temple that was once covered in snow, now broken, and feel the mourning of a lone frost giant who had fought bravely by your side with a determined, immediate belief in your cause. And finally you hear. You hear whispers around you, consuming you. Justice, justice, justice. A new person appears. Not fuzzy nor sepia. Formed only as the visions of the present have. A figure that reminds you of the boogeymen of your church long past. His eyes covered, cloaked, on a mission, standing in a dark corner of a room. You look down at your body made of stardust, and once again it's the new constellation, the same that you saw last time, the one that you cannot identify. The same clear feminine voice rings through your senses, and she just says, "Trust. Trust the eyes." You open your own eyes and you sit up, realizing that the dark corner of the room that you saw in your dream was your own, and that you are indeed not alone in the dark. And with that, Volana, would you like to describe what she sees as she wakes up sitting up?
Sure, I can do that. So as you awaken, you find yourself staring at a very mysteriously hooded figure, who for some reason is offering you a cup of coffee?
Tazira will quickly begin to scream, grab Nippet and use it to muffle herself as she just like full-on horror movie screams. Just go, hi! This is the quickest division's ever come true. Hi.
Is Komori awake?
Komori is not in the room.
My character does not speak, so he holds up one hand and makes a few gestures.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I will connect to your mind, and go, sorry, easier this way for us. You can reply back. I know you know that. Iris Vervain. And you are?
I am called Volano.
Volano? Iris, are you using your actual last name?
Mm-hmm.
Volano, you recognize that last name.
Oh.
You recognize
see.
that last name as the same name as the high hand.
How intriguing. How intriguing indeed. To meet you here, of all places. Very well.
Yeah, I'm
You
not...
wish for coffee?
Yeah, I would love that.
Hand you the cup of coffee, and then from a thermos that I pulled from somewhere, proceed to pour another cup.
Oh, thanks, Simona, that you're here. why are you here?
A good question. But perhaps you would like a minute to collect yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And she will take a moment to sip the coffee.
Understandable.
After a moment, you'll see that she kind of begins to chill out and will kind of look up. So, what has the eyes on here? I mean, this is big, but I didn't know that the day you would have you guys on this yet.
Let us say things have grown complicated. I require your assistance with a specific task.
Absolutely. What is it?
Are you familiar with a hill giant stronghold that was built on the mountain border?
Iris will pull out a map and kind of roll it out to have you point where it is.
I will point at a location.
Yeah, it's the same
between Valinor and Rosewick.
It's the same as the hill giant. Like literally, it's marked in your map.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. We were actually planning to go there and get the conch, and also meet Moog near there.
I have so many questions, none of which are relevant. Very well. That was built approximately 2 years ago. It's causing problems. Problems that the people need solved immediately. And thus I've been sent to dispatch justice.
Consider my hands yours for that purpose, then.
Excellent. May I call upon your allies as well?
Yeah, I'll have to probably talk it through with Nyx, but if the rest of us are cool with it, it should be good, and we're planning to go there anyways, so, what do you want me to tell them for who you are, what you're involved with, and how you got here?
You are more than welcome to leave most of those questions unanswered. My presence will be limited.
I'm not a very good liar.
Then it helps that I haven't told you anything, now doesn't it?
You know, that's true.
Would you like
Cool.
more coffee?
I would love more coffee.
Your glass is now full.
Thank you. I guess it's time to meet the rest of our motley crew.
I do have more cups.
Beautiful. You'll need 3 more at least.
Reach into my cloak and pull 3 more cups from, again, somewhere.
And you actually watch as you're walking behind her, I'm assuming, or in front of her. But either way, you just see Tazira just pull out a journal and then start a page on you.
I don't think he gave his name.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember.
I said verbatim, I didn't say it was my name. I said I am called Volana.
Okay. Okay.
Got to avoid those fey traps.
Yeah, gotta avoid the fate traps. You walk upstairs. It is like noon to Zyra. It's a little after noon, which makes sense considering you guys went to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. And the fact that Volano managed to get on the ship and in your room in the middle of the day is a little concerning.
We are still like 60 plus feet in the air,
Yeah,
right? I just wanted
absolutely.
to make sure.
Still docked 60 plus feet in the air.
Excellent.
And to Zyra, you go on walk up on board. Komori is helping out, moving some stuff around. Looks like she's helping fix the, I forget what it's called. I just already named it. The
furnace?
The furnace. I was like, it starts with an F. And then Ravasi looks did Ravasi sleep?
Ravasi tranced. He only has to trance for 4 hours. He's currently sprawled out on, like, the least broken part of the deck, and it looks like he's trying to write something like sheet music.
And for the sake of things, even though Nyx trances, we're just gonna say that she got her ass handed to her and is downstairs.
I was gonna say, Nyx probably went, yeah, fuck that. Bring me food, and then leave me alone.
Yeah, probably.
Is Nyx grouchy?
Very.
Can
we
be.
love her, though.
I don't think grouchy is the right word.
Very
Straightforward.
blunt.
Blunt.
Blunt as a hammer to the skull.
Yeah. So, Villano, there is several other people on deck. There's a red-skinned tiefling who looks to be repairing the harpoons. There's a woman with brown hair and a braid who's, like, she looks like she's in her 40s, maybe 50s, walking around in robes, kind of helping and directing Komori, and Tazira, you walk on deck with, Villano trailing behind you.
Beautiful. I guess, she realizes like halfway through writing, and we'll just kind of connect back to Villano's head. By the way, they don't know me by Iris or Ravane, they know me as Tazira Flint.
Understood. I will be speaking through sign language anyway. Does anyone other than yourself speak it?
You see the one with the curly hair who's kind of twinky? He does.
I'm sorry, that word, Twinkie, what does that mean?
It begins again.
I am unfamiliar with this expression.
I'll draft up a dictionary page for you, don't worry.
I see. Most excellent. One brief question before you terminate the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Do they also enjoy coffee?
I think so. I don't know if Komori's really had coffee regular enough to build a taste for it, but I think they do.
Excellent. I have no other gifts, so I hope it will be acceptable. I am going to point out one tiny detail. The entire walk, I don't think I've made a single footstep noise that you've been able to perceive.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And you have intense ears, Tazira.
Ooh.
Okay. So, Ravasi, you kind of, like, look up as Tazira's kind of standing over you, and there's a, how tall is Villano?
Let me double check my notes, but I think I wrote down 5'10".
Aha! Ravasi is taller!
Yes, I did. 5'10".
But you are laying on the ground. But he is standing kind of behind Tazira, cloak over, and as you kind of are looking up his cloak, you see that his eyes are fully covered in bandages. What looks like bandages.
Gotta do... Are you being hunted, Tazira? Or is this a new, like, spirit guide?
I mean, I'd respect him as a spiritual source of wisdom if you ever wanted to give me that. But no, I dreamt about him. This is Villano. He needs us to go and help with the hill giants, and I trust him.
I silently offer Ravasi a cup of coffee.
And he has coffee. He speaks sign.
Oh, and he has coffee. And we just trust him implicitly after a ancient blue dragon threatened us within an inch of our lives.
I can assure you that I know probably more than a good portion of people, and I trust him. And I also dreamt about him like I dreamt about you guys in Harshnag, so.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Very
Uh-huh.
reliable people. He's gonna look at you. Like, look at you.
I will connect to your mind, Ravasi, and just. I can't tell you the exact verbiage as to why I trust him so implicitly, but he knows me from my somewhat. We're not super close, but we come from the same area. And in order for him to be in the rank where he is, he needs to be trusted above all else. So.
Rank. Were you also in some kind of cult at your college, Shazira?
I'm not in a cult. It's an established religion.
Ah, so a cult.
Okay. The difference between a cult and an established religion is the wideness as to which it is accepted by the average society, as well as the degree to control of which is exerted upon its members. So, jot that down.
Also, you very specifically know, Tazira, that the Church of Lady Simona, they do not force the religion on people. They will help everybody regardless of their beliefs, and they actually have quite a few connections with the other churches.
Yeah,
He's currently just eyeing the hood. Uh-huh.
That's just.
May I ask a very brief
By the
question?
way, we're very clearly having like
silent
like,
telepathic
Ravasi's not-
conversation.
Yeah, Ravasi is not subtle with his facial expressions. He is sending you dirty looks and like suspicious glances.
As long as I cannot hear the exact phrases that are being used, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just going to awkwardly present the coffee still.
I will take the coffee and then ask you for your name sign.
I sign back. I am called Volano.
So Sly actually knows like sign language. Does he? So like you would either finger spell it out, or like you would give like a name sign, kind of like this is what I'm called, like in like a special like nickname sort of way, maybe referencing your name. Does he have one of those,
yes.
or does he just finger spell it?
He would. It would be a V. Oh, unless you have a different answer, Kyber.
I was actually going to explicitly say that unless that the sign my character would have come up with would be directly tied to his position, so he probably would finger spell it to someone he doesn't know or trust yet.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then he's gonna ask you out loud, mute or deaf?
Brain processing in real life. Give me a second.
That means
Can't
mute.
hear, just can't talk.
Yes, thank you. My brain is frazzled. Sign back. Neither. Silence by choice.
Well, I didn't ask if you were mute because you... semantics. No talking. Gotcha. That's, certainly a choice.
Ravasi, go ahead and make a history check. Actually, you know what? I don't even think you need to. It's like a super low DC. Your family was involved in politics. You know that the majority of the Church of Lady Simona, sorry, I said that really weird. That a lot of them make a choice to not speak. So her whole thing is that she will not speak until justice and balance is brought to the Ilumelan and Illume as a whole. And so several of her followers will take either portions of vows of silence or they will permanently take a vow of silence. So I would say with that, it's very easy to tell. And then you look up and you see the colors he is wearing. Definitely a follower of Lady Simona.
He kind of gets a look of recognition in his face, and he goes, "Oh, huh." Zari will talk later, but for right now, thank you, Coffee Man, for your coffee. And then he goes, "I'm not going to finger spell your name out constantly, so and then he signs coffee with a V. I'm gonna be calling you that now. If you don't like it, don't tell me because I won't change it."
This is acceptable.
Okay, Komori, you at this point, I would say, see that there's another figure and notice that there's another figure in your, rebuilding the furnace.
Huh.
Hi, Komori. He's chill. He's got
Just
coffee.
Randomly appeared on the ship with coffee. Follower of
You.
How do you say it again, DM?
Lady Simona.
Follower of Lady Simona.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, offer coffee.
At this point, Komori's just gonna be like, you know what? With all the weird stuff that's been happening lately, I'm just gonna accept it and just move on.
Don't worry. If he turns out to actually be evil, you have permission to defenestrate him. Though I suspect he'll just levitate down to the ground.
Okay, well, he's not going to turn out to secretly be full.
Oh, okay. My main question is, what does defenestrate even mean?
Throw out a
What's
Is that
Well,
an in-character
actually,
or an
it's-
out-of-character question?
In character.
Oh my god, it's even funnier. I'm shutting up now.
It means to throw someone out a window.
There's no windows on the ship.
There's one in the lower deck. We could go down there. I'm sure
Why
Vilana
would
would
you,
be
why
willing
would
to
you,
accommodate
why
for
would you
that.
throw someone off? But why would you throw someone off like out of the window when you have, you know, the deck here?
So you could have dramatic glass flying by as the look of betrayal is in their faces. Next question.
I don't believe that you have thought this through,
Are you talking to me?
as you are the only person who can read my sign language besides Miss Tazira. Yes.
Why don't you know a little sign? He's shit talking me right now, by the way.
I'm literally just looking back between the both of you, just like, okay, this is a lot. I don't know any of this.
I mean,
You should go get some cream for your coffee. I know you prefer that.
I hear the words cream and coffee, and I reach into my cloak and pull out a small vial of cream.
Okay, where are you hiding all this?
Irrelevant
he's got a-
is the only sign I make.
Do you think he
I
has
don't
cloak
understand a word of it.
Is it a cloak of holding?
Irrelevant.
So I'm right.
Irrelevant.
My mom's got one of those.
Irrelevant.
My mother's irrelevant. Are you really insulting me now? That's a low blow.
Irrelevant.
I might have to defenestrate you off this airship. Would you mind going downstairs where there's a window? It'd be very dramatic. And then you could fly back up as if nothing had happened.
Would you prefer to perhaps push me off the railing? It is less walking for both of us.
Well, you don't walk, so why would you care?
I look at my feet that are very clearly standing on the deck and then look back up at Ravasi confused.
I sworn you were levitating earlier. Oh well. Because he was like lying on the ground, just like staring up at you.
no, he's just really quiet.
Really? With those hands?
I mean, I sure shit can't hear anything.
I mean, so new
What's
sign
the
for you,
side?
Kamori. He
Like,
just new sign for you, Kamori. He just signed irrelevant like 6 times, because he thinks he's funny. And maybe he will be one day.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I signed to Ravasi, genuinely thanking him for the compliment, not understanding sarcasm or how it works at all.
Oh, this will be a great relationship. Does Ravasi clock that? I really hope he clocks that.
Ravasi absolutely clocks that.
Anyway, Volano, what do you need from us?
Volano, I will
Like
also
everyone else in
remind
this
you.
fucking world.
Volano, I will just also remind you that if you ever need to, you do have the ability to speak telepathically.
Oh, I thought we removed that.
No, we removed the detect thoughts part of the feat.
Right, I remember now. Okay.
Okay, but
Instead of doing that, I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out a letter.
Ooh.
It's just my basic mission tenets written out, describing the location of a nearby hill giant fort, and it has about 2 pages of notes from where I went and scouted it.
I will immediately start copying all of those down.
One moment, please. I can
all right.
copy
Well
pasta
then,
that. And I will drop it in our... Where should I put it?
Oh, it's where we're supposed to meet up with Moog to take over to kill Chief Goo, right?
Yes.
Essentially, what it says. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Convenient.
Essentially,
He's just saying it certainly makes it convenient.
Essentially, what it says is the Hill Giant stronghold was built in the last 2 years on top of a small river coming out of the mountains on the border of Thalor and Rosewick. People in the towns nearby have been affected as 1, the river's dammed up. 2, the giants are stealing food stores, crops, and livestock. 3, the giants are accompanied by several bands of goblins and hobgoblins and ogres, which aren't bad in this world. But most tribes are either far north or far, far south, and so it's really weird that they're this far south and working with the giants. When the giants can't get food or livestock, they will kidnap people, which is concerning, considering the implications that they are taking food and livestock, and then they're kidnapping people as a last resort. This is a huge issue because people are disappearing and starving, and it is the last month before winter. You've scouted it, Volano has scouted it once before and determined it was too much for him to handle alone, and when he reported, he was told of heroes fighting giants in the north and to find them. He would also know that there is a gong tower guarded by hobgoblins, and that you stand a better chance of infiltrating stealthily.
Right then.
Can I double check my notes for Nick's sake and see if there's any mind goblins?
No, no, you cannot. Okay. No
I'll
fucking
banish
mind
myself to the
goblins.
muted corner.
They're not canon in your world, Joey? They're not canon in your world?
No, they're not.
Oh.
Okay.
I tried.
You tried for Nick's sake. Nick, not Nix. Although I'm sure that Nix would have thought that joke was hilarious too.
This is true.
And Shorty. Okay. So you have been given that information, and it seems that, as you said, yes, Ravasi, that this is the same place where Chief Ga is.
Mm-hmm. And you really do trust him, Desira?
Yeah.
I'm gonna casually walk and look out over the railing, just enjoying the view.
Giving them a moment.
It's dramatic because I don't make a single sound as I do it.
Yeah, and I will actually connect to Ravasi's mind. I mean, I do get that he broke onto the airship and everything, which is an offense. But, like, why are you being a little bit of a bitch?
We just got forcibly told what to do by an ancient blue dragon who nearly killed all of us multiple times. So
Yeah.
forgive me for being a little, annoyed when a random ass person appears and tells me what to do.
Okay, that's fair.
And also is a little weird. His vibes are off, but I think that more has to do with the fact that he doesn't talk. No. Yes. Yes. It bugs me.
What if I didn't talk?
You make too much noise. It's fine. We'd make up for it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that slide. Oh my gosh. Desira, I will say you're insightful enough that you get a flash back to the moment you touched Ravasi and it was dead silent. And so you understand why the absolute silence would make him uncomfortable. That there's some connection there. You have a high enough wisdom and insight score passively, and you guys had like a brief discussion about it, so.
That's fair. Okay. So we just okay, genuine question. Would you dislike him if I belled him or something?
If you like what? Sorry.
Belled him? You know, like the story of the mice who belled the cat?
Yeah, but none of them were, all of them were too afraid to be eaten by the cat to actually put the bell on the cat.
Okay, well, I'm friends with the cat, so. Or at least friendly.
So he does want to eat us. I'm making a joke, by the way. You don't need to, respond to that, actually.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
So you're a follower of Lady Simona?
Mm-hmm. Is that a problem or anything?
No. I don't think I expected it from you. It makes sense now, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want the world to be better, but what better way to work for that than, through the Church of Simona? And, the smile that she gives you is this look of somebody who you can tell, believes in the system.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
I mean, it makes sense, but I digress.
Is there next, church thing happening with this?
With the fight that we're about to go to with the hill giant?
He looks over at Volano.
Oh, yeah.
Secret church things happening?
For reference, since you glanced, Volano is sitting on the railing, completely ignoring life, sipping coffee.
Sly wishes to be like Volano, unbothered, moisturized, hydrated, caffeinated.
Sipping
Staying in his
coffee,
lane.
sitting on an airship, looking at the beautiful mountain morning, well, midday.
Sounds pretty nice.
Actually, it does sound really nice.
Does I nod a bit?
Okay. He looks like he's actually contemplating of what he's trying to say for a moment. And then he kind of digs through his bag and he pulls out this really tiny little silver box. And on the lid, it's this gorgeous, ornate designs of the sun, the moon, the stars. Inside's just a little bit of cushioning, but what's cool is that each dawn the stars show a different arrangement. It's for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ravasi. This is a little out of nowhere, but thank you. Is there a reason you're giving this to me?
Yes. It's a reminder. Same with the stars. You're not alone around here.
Thank you. And just so you know, I'm not being, like, ishy about saying the full stuff with him because I don't trust you. I'm being ishy because I don't know if I'm supposed to know, and I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of look.
You kind of what?
I don't know if I kind of dug through some paperwork that yes, I did have access to, but I don't know if I was supposed to have access to it when I had access to it. But I digress.
What's desire without getting a little forbidden knowledge?
Exactly.
Ravasi, I have a very important question.
Yes.
Is the box something that you got here on Ilumelan, or is it something that's been in your family for a while and came from off-world?
Oh, it's definitely a family heirloom.
Okay. Tazira, you look down and you see the constellation of the Dreamer.
Ravasi, wait. And like she actually starts talking now, full on nerding out. Where and when did you get this? Because this has this, and I'm gonna point to the constellation.
Yeah, he kind of just shrugs his shoulders. It was my uncle's. He's passed, but he was from a different world, where my family was from. You knew this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an important reason for it?
This has the Dreamer on it. Nothing has the Dreamer on it. Like nobody knows the Dreamer.
He just kind of blankly like stares at you.
It's a constellation. It's not really covered except for in like very niche books and stuff, and not many people know about it. I see it a lot, but you know.
Maybe my family's old world had it, I guess.
And she will start. You actually see as she will flip over back to a page on the Dreamer and is going to start taking some notes. Well, thank you very much, Ravasi.
Of course. And I am serious.
Well, same goes to you, you know? I'm here for you, and I'm gonna figure out something. Just so you know.
Don't. It's not your burden to bear.
Thank you.
Don't let this eat you alive, too.
I'll do my best, but sometimes that's all there is, eh? And I will just kind of...
Alright, I'm gonna go, save Komori, who keeps trying to make very awkward small talk with Filano. It's not going well.
Actually, yeah, I mean, sure, if Komori wants to go make awkward small talk with Filano, that's funny.
How does it work?
I tilt
do
my
you
head to
just-
one side when he said, "How does it work?" Not understanding the pronoun reference.
I don't understand the sign language. Like you're just and just does like the God, I'm trying to think of it. It's just like some of the random just like jazz hands essentially. Just feel like it. For all you know, she's saying something incredibly offensive.
Can I know I'm not DM, but I feel like we should get a roll for how badly this goes.
Performance.
I mean, jazz hands are jazz hands. I don't think that you could say anything super bad.
The dice disagree.
The dice disagree.
A natural 1 with -1 in charisma for an absolute 0.
I've never been so pleased with the dice before.
Alano stares
Because
as
Not you.
Komori probably says something close to a racial slur. I don't know.
Sure.
And just completely nonplussed pulls out this little white powder and just starts mixing it into his coffee, just completely shaking his head.
What's the white powder?
Don't worry about it.
Kenny's
Unless you
dying.
want to worry about it.
He's dying in the other room. He's laughing so hard.
So how's it going over here?
I turned to Ravasi. I have never seen such vulgar language in my life.
Maury, what sign did you just do?
I'm just
Or
gonna be like,
say-
I don't know. I don't know. I just went.
Ooh,
Do not do that again.
you can't say that.
What do you mean?
I
I didn't say anything.
so the mimic thing that you did has something to do with a particular species of race and you know woman's genitalia?
I mean, maybe a little more than you would think.
Um,
I mean, last I checked.
well, it's don't do it again.
You're comparing a Triton to a part of a dolphin that nobody wants to be compared to.
Oh, you're being nice about the dolphin part. It's and at least around from where I am, that one's a shock actually.
I'm just gonna drink my spiked coffee. I'm glad no one's asked Falano what that is yet.
So, what did he just put in his coffee then?
You know what? Probably like speed or something. I don't know.
For my own clarity, that was said out loud, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna sign poison, but like shorthand, not spelled out.
Huh.
Huh?
You too?
What do you mean, you two?
Oh, my father does that.
I will write that
Don't
down.
write that down. Don't write that down. Says that out loud.
Yeah, and like Komori's just confused because she still doesn't know, or her question's not answered, and Ravasi's trying to like fist fight Zari in the background to get her book away from her.
I'm trying to steal the pen.
Tazira will actually let you, and the moment that you think that you've got it and you turn around, I mage hand out with my other pen.
He's going to stick his hand on the page that you're about to write, and you see ink, like an ink blot, like from his like fingertips, like smear the page.
Bossy! Like
I'm the bottom half.
I'm gonna full sibling start like full on roughhousing to get back at this.
So Komori,
Also,
watching-
to Zyra, it has to do with the shark cloaca.
Ah.
you were saying, Kyber?
I was gonna say I'm watching what appears to be an animated dust cloud with fists and limbs popping out of it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I just keep drinking my straight up lethally poisoned coffee like there's nothing wrong with life.
And Komori still doesn't know.
Correct.
About shark pussy.
Please tell me we have a quotes channel here. We do. Good.
Oh,
I think
lordy.
more Komori was concerned about the white powder in the coffee, but Shark Pussy is infinitely funnier.
I hate everything about this.
That's what he put in
I
the
said, remember when I said, guys, that he wasn't necessarily very insightful.
I love you guys.
lordy.
All right, well then. Fine, I'll clean it off.
Thank you. This is your page.
And he, it's the Illuminator's tattoo. I feel like I'm allowed to just make it disappear.
Yeah, I'll allow that. You guys have so much magic. You're fine. All right. Komori, are you having any other awkward conversation with Volano as you watch this?
Nope. Considering apparently she's already done a lot of damage, she's just walking away.
Valid, honestly. After a little bit, Delphine comes over and she kind of collects you a little bit, like looks at the new person, just kind of shrugs, like, what the she's not paid enough to care. Well, she's technically not paid at all.
Unfortunate. Pay this woman some money.
Pay this woman some money. But she just says, all right, well, we are good emergency repairs enough to take off and set for Fire Shear. We'll probably pick up a couple of things, and then we can head on wherever you guys need to. So we'll just definitely need to go there first, unless you would rather go north.
No, we're looking to go down towards the bottom of the mountains here, and I will tap where we're supposed to go.
Beautiful. And now that you're awake, Miss Tazira, I did want to formally introduce myself. My name is Delphine. I work for Cloth, and the Great Dragon Cloth, mind you. And he has mentioned you before, but when Lord Tobias sent for assistance, we came to assist. So, unless we are called back home, we are yours for the time being and can get you wherever you would like to go.
It is incredibly appreciated, and if you have some way to speak to Cloth, I would thank him for me for his incredible generosity. I know that no other dragon amongst the numbers would have the resources to pull it off.
You are very right. She's very proud of herself.
There's so many cultists on this ship.
I'm not part of a cult. Anyways.
Was
No,
I
that's
just called a
something someone
cultist
would
out loud?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it is very clearly a joke, by the way. But no, he doesn't get sarcasm!
He does not, so there's a sword in his hand now. Where did that come from?
Oh! You, do the same thing as Nyx. Huh. That was a joke. I don't actually mean that. I know you're not a cultist, and in fact, you're kind of opposite of a cultist.
I'm a
Someone who's known
cultist.
to be... Yeah, no, she's a cultist.
In the technical term.
Yes.
You see me look up into the sky, even though my eyes are very clearly covered, as if I'm looking for patience, as I let the sword disappear into little motes of light.
He smiles at you brilliantly.
Anyway, I would prefer, so, couple of ground rules. Well, we are great at transportation and are willing to house you. Although you, sir, if you're staying with us, I only really have the 2 rooms to spare that they're sharing and the storeroom that the random barbarian is staying in. Is she staying, like, perpetually? We'll have to figure that out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We met her about 20 seconds before we met you, and she was going to die with being a very slow, painful death, being eaten by spiders.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I would just prefer, well, we are great at going places, and Madeline would probably not mind fighting something. We are not a combat ship. We are 3 people and a couple of elementals and a not working, suit of armor. So my point being, we're not really great to assist you in combat, but we would love to be transportation for you, and that is what we can do. However,
appreciate it.
the longer we go, we may need some assistance in supplying some of the restocks. My funds are quite limited.
Absolutely. We'll see what we're able to provide you guys.
All right. Well, with that being said, we will head to Fireshare. Don't worry about the supplies this time. We can handle that for sure. We'll dock for a couple of hours, and then we will head to wherever you need to go. It'll be about 2 days to Fireshare. I'm going to remind you guys, it was like a week and a half for you guys to walk there. So the ship cuts off a ton of time for you.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll land there about midday. We'll probably fly through the night. Well, we'll limp through the night. It might be closer to 3 days. All right. But that is what I have. And we are going to set sail. And let me know if there's anything we can do for you. And she kind of, salutes. And she walks over to you, Zari, and, puts her hand out to shake your hand.
I will shake it as firmly as Tazira can manage.
Okay.
The dragon's specialist princess. He mutters that very, very quietly to himself.
May I roll perception to detect that?
What's your passive?
Passive. Let me double check. Passive perception is 15.
Oh yeah, you hear that.
Okay.
So, Miss Tazira, I know that you have some arcane capabilities. Do you think you could maybe take a look at Pilot?
Absolutely. Please let me help in whatever way I can.
Okay, I can fix him. I know how to. I just need a little bit of extra power. I have some spellcasting capabilities, but not a ton. And then I just need some supplies, like papers and, the incense and shit that all the magic burns.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's mine is yours.
Oh, that's so generous. Okay, well, come with me. We can maybe talk about it while I get us off the ground. Okay. And with that, you guys feel as the airship lurches as it begins to take off within quite a few additional people that you were not expecting. And you guys begin flying south through the noonday sun, beaten by a dragon, holding a flask with a mission and a year's time to complete. And that is where we are going to end our session. Next time we will pick up as you guys are making your journey to the Hill Giant Stronghold, and we will see what happens from there.
Yippee!
Okay. Well, with that being
hi.
said, hi, welcome to our guest who is joining us, our first guest. We will have a couple of guests on the show, but this is, for those who don't know, this is Kyber. Kyber's a really dear friend playing Villano. Kyber is also my co-star on the Charting Adventures podcast, which is also a D&D based podcast, on my Mythos YouTube channel. So if you want to hear us chat about D&D and everything, he's a wealth of knowledge, a phenomenal DM, and yeah. So, which...
And an all-around
swag.
crazy person.
Valid.
Well,
Which, by the way, if you didn't know, Kenny, who plays Komori, edits our podcast, and he's hilarious. So, also plug.
I was about to joke, depends on who you ask, but then I know you were about to yell at me. So
Yes, I will yell at you. So anyway, if you're with us on Twitch, stick around. If you're with us on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you enjoyed. Check out some of the other stuff on the channel, and we will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.
hey, come join us here.
Yes, come join us live Wednesday nights at Zari the Muse at Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's what I got. Catch you all soon. Goodbye.